And now it's like top 3 spots, probably top 2 spots in this entire area, like Rocky Mountain National Park and like all around Estes, which I've never had a spot jump like that before. Seems unnecessarily heavy.
I'm not bringing my tripod. Just made the executive decision. Whoa! Ben's stripping down too. Yay!
I don't want to regret it.
We will regret it. But something tells me there'll be enough rocks to balance something on. Or not.
Give us a little update.
All right, so Mr. Ben Strauss and I are about to, as well as Alex, we're heading up to Gem Lake to get some golden hour sunset pictures and find some fun compositions, play around a little bit in the Rockies.
Yeah, so I mean, I grew up hiking with parents that photographed every second.
I can't imagine that this ever gets old.
What, hiking up here?
Well, just the view, you know, everything, yeah. Where we're going up there?
Like I said, this hike has always been in my head as like a non-photographic destination. So I don't even think I brought my camera up here before. It's one of those hikes you bring your visiting cousins to and your non-photographer friends that just want to go on a hike. You're like, yeah, well, let's go here, because then I know I won't have any FOMO, like if I don't bring my camera. You know, your friends and family who don't photograph?
Coming to town, you're like, oh, I'll take you
like,
to this
can we
cool
do a
lake.
hike?
You can put your feet in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe let's do a little hike. There's nothing to photograph up here. I mean, you see it from the, you know, when you approach it, even you said yourself, it's very underwhelming. You're like, this is the lake? This is not like just a lake on the way to the lake? Yeah.
Let's be honest.
This is the pond? And you're just facing this rock wall. There's no mountains in sight. So we go around, which I don't know why I've never thought about this, and we went up and scrambled up on top of that rock wall at the end of the lake.
It's nice and refreshing. Here we go, into the bush. The hike up here was a hike. Some difficult spots, nothing dangerous or crazy or anything, but it definitely, it made the reveal of the lake when you got up here worth it.
Dude, this looks like a boneyard.
It does, look, looks like a jaw.
I know.
Scary.
That is sweet. I don't know how have I never come up here. Like, what the heck is wrong with me? This is crazy. I've been here like 5 times. I'm like, this isn't photographic. Compositionally, it checks every single box. Like, it's textbook. There's so many like different compositions just because of all these shapes in the rocks. It's like perfect. You got the, what would look kind of like a boneyard, all those textures in the rock is the foreground. Then you have this beautiful, like almost diamond shaped pond sitting in this bowl with these like mountainsides on each side framing Long's Peak and Meekers in the background and all the layers leading up to it. Like, it's just like, you can't get any better than that. It's pretty crazy. Dude, the sunlight catching the side, that left rock is so cool.
What I'm looking for when I'm trying to figure out where I want to shoot is some sort of leading line in the foreground, some sort of element that is unique and offers different stages for the eye to be pulled through by the light, how you're shaping it.
I've never had a shot go from, like a spot, go from not even on the map, you know, like here's the map. It's like down here, not even photogenic like whatsoever. That's literally where it was. And it went from there to seeing it at a whole different perspective going on the other side of the lake. And now it's like top 3 spots probably top 2 spots in this entire area, like Rocky Mountain National Park and like all around Estes, which I've never had a spot jump like that before. Yeah, I hiked up here plenty of times and I never came up to the top of the rock. Which makes me feel stupid because like, it's like something I really pride myself on, is finding unique compositions in less obvious places. I think that's like goes to show how much of a creativity killer being closed-minded can be, because you don't even see something that's quite obvious. Like, why don't you try going on top of that rock wall at the end of the lake and look back behind you?
Yeah, I mean, as a first-time viewer of that, it really was, it was special. I don't know how to explain it other than there are certain times when you go to a place that is as compositionally strong as that, and it's like, oh my gosh, there's not a lot of thinking work here. You know what I mean? Because there's definitely places where you have to go and you have to work to find that comp, right? The right element in the foreground, the right angle. Now, it didn't stop us from exploring to see if there were other alternatives, but I think we all came back to that center-weighted shot. For someone who is so knowledgeable of the area, right? To have a first-time experience with you, and as mine as well, that was special. That was nice.
This is probably the area I know better than most. I think I grew up 40 minutes down the road. So yeah, I definitely explored this area the most. Probably took me a couple of years to really get used to what location's better for sunset, sunrise, what kind of conditions, what time of year, what lakes freeze over better, which lakes have better ice cracks and fractures. I know all those answers too.
You know, there's a certain amount of sweat equity that goes into finding these places. And then just because you found it doesn't mean it's going to be the best time, right? So
yeah, that comes from failing enough, picking the wrong decision.
Exactly. But that's such a huge part of
So
what
now
we
I
do,
know.
though. The learning process. It's a learning process, and process is the most important part of that, you know, phrase, because in order to learn, a lot of the times you have to do something wrong.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, so we got up around 4 this morning, took a ride into Rocky Mountain National Park. Got here around, I don't know, 4:35, 4:40, something like that. Started our hike up here, which is just over a mile. Much easier than it was yesterday, for sure. And now we spent the last, I don't know, about 15, 20 minutes just kind of walking around the outside of the lake to try and find some compositions that will lend themselves to strong images.
It wasn't a long hike to get up here. We got here way early. Now it's just blue hour. It's gonna be a classic Dream Lake sunrise. I tell everyone, don't set too many expectations when you go shoot, for this exact reason. You go to your spot, right? But you're standing there, you're like looking around and you're like, it's like blowing up behind us though. Well, why is it not blowing up here? I don't know, you can't probably catch it on camera. I don't know, if you look that way, it's pretty...
We see some interesting cloud inversions happening, so we're gonna see if we can get to this lookout, which is about 5 minutes down the...
5 to 10, yeah. And then you just like get that internal struggle of like, do I stay here? Like, I know this is what I came here to shoot, which makes it like you feel guilty leaving it, or like you're gonna miss something. It's like, do I go that way? So we better book it, because it's rolling in towards us. So you're like at this fork in the road, and I've had so many times where I got burned. Something I've been wanting to capture for a while. They're so hard to predict up here. Where I decide to like chase the not destination shot, right? The non-planned location. And then I get burned and nothing happens over there. I'm like, I should have stayed where I was at. So you get like this constant battle of FOMO in your head, like fear of missing out on good conditions. Definitely an inversion, but it's like way out in the distance. Still had a little bit of that because I didn't want you guys to miss out on seeing Dream Lake light up. So yeah, we made the call to jump down the trail a little bit, check out that inversion and chase that on that lookout point, and super glad we did because that was crazy. Yeah, the magic was right there with that diagonal silhouetted pine tree line, then that little bit of inversion that was left, and then the couple hills there, and then the sun rising.
A little bit of that early morning color, and then it changed from that like purpley blue to that kind of orange cast and got really warm.
And the sun just lit up the contours of the
Yeah.
inversion. You got that silhouette of the pine trees.
We've had these special moments where a little bit of change from the ordinary has brought not only excitement for us, because we don't know what the change is, but you do. So seeing you excited in your home turf, it was super cool. And yeah, the beauty of this morning was yet another example of what happens when you're not so like, nope, this is where I have to be. This is what we said we were gonna do today. We saw something that was unique, was not necessarily something that happens very often in this area. And we decided to go to check it out, and we almost left. We almost left.
You kept us there.
Right.
I was like,
let's just wait. Let's see what happens when the sun
yeah,
comes
I
up.
know. See, I might have missed it. That's what's fun, shooting with other people with different perspectives. But yeah, this morning was a perfect example of it paying off to keep an open mind. Slap a different lens on there, get a different perspective, frame it differently, and get rid of all that negative space. And yeah, then you got something special. So that was really cool.
What's going on, guys? So it's been a couple of weeks since we got back from Rocky Mountain National Park with Ben, and man, those locations did not disappoint. I was impacted, and I know just by hearing Ben speak about it how impactful that new comp that he brought us to at Gem Lake was. So I just finished dialing my settings here, and I'm gonna fire off a print for him, and we're gonna take it over to him and see what he thinks. Hey, what's up, bud? Just letting you know I'm leaving. I'm on my way over to you right now.
Sounds good, man.
All right, I'll see you in a couple minutes.
All right.
What's going on, bro? Good to see you. So, I have a little surprise for you.
Perfect.
Waiting over on the car.
Awesome.
I'm always surprised at like how good these prints are. They came out. When this came out, I was like, oh my gosh, it's so clean.
Super clean. Yeah, that's about as color accurate and shadow accurate as I would ever hope. Can't tell you how many times I've spent, how many hours I've spent iterating test prints with labs. But this looks exactly how it does on my monitor.
It's super sharp. I mean, like
that's what
the
I'm-
foreground and everything. It's like, I love it. It looks amazing.
It's about as sharp as my TIFF file was. So if there's any softness in here, it's my fault for over processing. Yeah, no, it looks great. I love it.
It was such a special moment. Realizing that this comp went from like nowhere on your radar to
One of my
like
favorites.
one of the top three was super
Yeah.
cool to hear and to be a part of. So yeah, man, thanks.
All right, thanks, man. This is awesome.
Enjoy.